Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm glad you're able to join me on today's topic. In this second part of the two series video, I'll be sharing about the things that I did that helped me to climb out of the hole of depression. Now, one of the things that I discovered and came upon is gratitude, and how gratitude can revolutionize your psyche. The reason why sadness can concretize is because we are focused on the problem in our lives. When we focus on that problem, it begins to have more strength, gain power, and solidify and concretize. And before you're able to dislodge something that has concretized, you need hammer. You need something strong, to break it down. Unlike when it's still flowing or gaseous, or those things go away very fast. But when it's concretized, it takes a longer time to clear. So one of the things to prevent and also to heal depression is to be able to appreciate the things that are positive in your life at that moment. So even if you have to make a list of it. You have to look into your own self, look into your life, look into your journey so far. You have been coming from somewhere. Look at it and start evaluating what are things that are positive right now. Yes, the problem is still there. It hasn't gone away. It's not going to go away immediately. But let's look at what are the things that are good, that are positive right now. Let's look at it. Somebody said the roof over your head. I mean, in the same 2018, we moved into our own house. My husband and I, we moved into our house. With the children. So that one was a positive thing, to be able to aspire into building a house and to be able to complete it and move into it. I mean, that's something beautiful. That was one of the big one on my list. Grateful for this. I remember when I moved in with the children, because my husband was not around at the time I was moving. I did a little celebration for my office people that this is a big one for us. Health, our health has been good. But we have not been falling sick anyhow, even though breakdowns of malaria now and then, but there's no major illness. So that's cause for gratitude. The children are moving higher in their academics, learning their milestones, their expectations about what they should grow and develop. They are meeting it. And so I was able to identify a few things. By the time I started doing this, and I had a job, even though it may be a stress, so I had a job, I had an income. And so it was still one of the blessings at the time, and I wanted to put on the list. So I started to look around and look at the journey and at the moment, what are the things I needed to be grateful for, and I focused my attention on those things intentionally. And because I also engage in yoga and exercise, I began to do a lot more of these things that I know would yield positively for me. And over a course of a few months, I became Madam Gratitude. So music, I listen to music a lot now than usual. I've checked out many different genres of music. I'm an old school. I like the old music. King Sunny Ade was introduced to me by my in-law, and I have a lot of his songs on my playlist. They're evergreen in my opinion. I mean, they're just beautiful music, and they lift your spirit. And when you dance to the music, I mean, the vibration within your energy field, it also causes your spirit to lift. That mood, that sadness, it loses power. So the sadness and the negativity within that is being contained within start to lose power, and you have more inflow of more positive energy, and then your energy lifts. Unlike when you're just you don't have that drive, you don't have that passion that you used to have because of this problem. But when you start to do things you love, start to be grateful, start to listen to music, dance, you find that your energy lifts, and you become a little better than you were the day before, than you were the last week, and things will generally be like something that's broken down, that's concretized sadness. As much as it is a problem in our culture in Nigeria and in Africa generally, we have not yet evolved into understanding this problem and not stigmatizing it. There's a lot of stigma around mental health issues. I remember Betty Rabo spoke about that in one of her books and in a magazine on how she dealt with depression for the longest time. So this is a prevailing issue within the society, and the more we talk about it, the more it becomes less bogus. It becomes a normal case of malaria. And then by the time people understand what to do when they have such issues, when they have such problems in their lives, the problem goes away, and it doesn't become something severe. It doesn't lead to suicide like the cases that we hear in the news now and then. People become severely depressed when, though it starts at a mild case, it worsens because they are not able to talk to anyone. People don't seek for help because they don't want to be mocked or stigmatized. We want to all form strong. We want to all form, I'm a child of God, nothing bad can happen to me. There is need for a lot more awareness in offices, in churches, in mosques, in social gatherings, in schools. I remember a Facebook friend of mine mentioned that he went to Unilag and he said there was a day he went to the waterfront and he was thinking to himself. He thought about all the problems that he was facing at that time, and he thought, if I could just jump into this lagoon now, maybe the problem would end. Because he was sitting by the waterfront. If you've ever been to Unilag, it's an easily accessible area for students. And he said, if I could just jump into this lagoon, that was the thought in his head at that time. He said another thought now came and said, what would that poor woman feel when we done that? Because his mom was a single mother raising him. So it was that thought that was able to bring him away from that previous thought. The thought of his mom's devastation made him to change direction. And he was able to also seek help and be able to overcome that problem. I'm sure even people who think, oh, I can never be depressed, may have fallen into at some point, but they never sought clinical diagnosis of it or help, and maybe they prayed it away. Yeah, prayers help in the case of mild depression, when the blocks have not layered up so much. It's not written in the forehead, nobody can see it. Sometimes people who are very empathic, who are very intuitive, you'll be able to discern, and very close family members can discern if there is a change in your entire mood and be able to suggest if you're talking about something. But without that, it's difficult for anybody to observe on the outside that something is wrong with you. Because you carry on with your life. I carried on with my life, with my office work, even though I think my productivity wasn't at the level it could have been. I carried on with taking care of the children, with going to work, and carried on with doing things I normally do, but my internal self was a mess. But I'm thankful that I'm able to share this story today, because for you to be able to share such a story is because you're healed past that and you're moving on. People sharing their story doesn't mean that they are foolish or they don't know how to keep the culture of silence. I do not believe in this culture of silence. I believe in evolving as a society. I believe in our transformation as a society. I believe in our healing as a society, because there is a lot of trauma within this society called Nigeria. When you think about kidnapping alone and the people who have been affected by kidnapping, even people who are not affected, somebody like me just hearing the news and seeing the news, it saddens me. It saddens me. So when you now think about the people who are directly involved with the kidnapping, some people have lost relatives, children, husband. They've lost people to kidnappers in Nigeria. It's on a daily basis that people are kidnapped. That's enough trauma that causes people to go into depression. Bamishe's case in Lagos is still pending. I've not read any new information about that case. I thought about her yesterday and I said, I hope justice will come. If we are able to establish true justice, it lessens the load in the mind of the people involved. But on a daily basis, people are still being kidnapped, people are still being killed, raped, murdered. all sort of evil things. Those are enough traumatizing events in people's lives, even as an outsider, depending on the kind of personality that you are. So being vulnerable about it doesn't mean that I could not be quiet, or I could not be silent, or I would be afraid that I'll be judged or stigmatized based on this. These are the reasons why people keep quiet. And I want to speak to you if you're feeling very sad, if you're feeling depressed. You will know it within yourself that this is not your usual self. You will know it. There's something that's changed. There's something you're feeling deep within that was not previously there. Please seek help. Please seek help. While I will advocate for speaking with someone, I will say not everybody can be spoken to. Some people mock you, and it even makes the problem worse. Some people mock your situation. They diminish what you're feeling. They talk it down, not as a way of helping you, but as a way of mocking you. Those are not the kind of people to speak about depression to. You will know within your circle of friends, of relatives, people who have that compassionate heart, people who have that empathic heart, who can really listen. All you need is somebody who wants to listen and to hold your hand. They may know a thing or two about how to go about it, but the first thing you will need is somebody to listen to you, for you to unbottle to, and they won't carry your matter to the marketplace, to town. They won't carry it about. They're able to keep it confidential as you go on that healing journey, because that's the very first step, to speak up, talk. Don't bottle it inside. For us introverted people, there's a lot that goes on in our heads, more than we speak. We reason a lot, we think a lot, but in the case of feeling sad or depressed, you need now to talk. Talk about that problem with somebody that you can trust. Your counselor in the church, your pastor, not all the pastors, you should know which one you can talk about a problem with, who won't go to town with your problem. Family members who you can trust, friends you can trust, speak to them. If you have the agency, seek medical help. I assure you that that problem is not as unresolvable as it seems. There is always a way out, and you can always assess that way, rather than going deeper and deeper and being drawn into that hole of depression. Don't allow it. The human life is one of the precious gifts that we have. Such a beautiful gift. Yes, we encounter these problems. It doesn't diminish the beauty of our human existence. We are such a wonderful and complex creation. Do not let the problem that is coming up right now, within this period of your life, to determine the outcome, the finality of your life. That's not the finality of your life. Your life is brilliant, and the future is quite hopeful for you, if only you persist and seek help, as the case may be. I do hope that you find this video useful. Please, I'd like you to drop a comment and let's have a discussion further, even after the video has stopped. And I want to encourage you, there is hope at the end of the tunnel. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon.